Hi, I'm Dylan Heisen, and this is your quick discussion summary of the Overly Animated podcast for the latest episode of Rick and Morty, Look Who's Purging Now. Delaney and I discussed this episode today, and we both enjoyed it, with some reservations, though. We both thought it wasn't one of the best of the season, but also was still good and enjoyable, not one of the worst either. Personally, I found this episode was not your typical middle of the road episode. It did some things very well and others not so well. What it did really well, I thought, was have really interesting character moments and interactions. A lot of the interactions between Rick and Morty, and one of those, and one between Summer and Jerry, I thought were extremely true to experiences that I've had, and I thought were very intelligent and interesting. Another thing that this episode did well was its execution of the B plot, the minor plot of the episode, which this time involved Jerry and Summer, and I like how it related to the Rick and Morty A plot in this one and was not as much as the focus as in previous ones, where I think a lot of the focus on Jerry and Beth has kind of been a problem when compared to more interesting things going on in the A plot. What this episode maybe didn't do so well was humor levels. I didn't find myself laughing at this one as much as a lot of episodes in Rick and Morty. It was all very clever and had a lot of good one-liners throughout, but maybe not as laugh-out-loud funny as the show normally is. And the other thing I think it did not so well was replace its typical extension of the episode concept, where it usually takes a sci-fi premise that is a typical tropey sci-fi beginning to an episode, and then it extends it past its logical conclusion, past absurdity, into kind of brilliant, intelligent territory. And this time I didn't feel like it did that with the Purging concept, which I don't think is too strong anyway to begin with. Instead, it took the Purging concept and descended into extreme levels of violence, which the show last week pointed out it maybe relies upon too much. So it's very odd to see that happen again here, maybe setting us up for this episode. I didn't think that was that strong overall, but this episode certainly had its share of really good moments and was an enjoyable one overall, and I'm definitely looking forward to the finale next week. So yeah, you can check out the entire podcast. We have an entire 15-minute audio discussion podcast at overlyanimated.com, and you can find the specific discussion link in the episode description.